You guys are probably asking how did I went from this to this. Yes, that was me, guys, and I want you guys to stick around to the end of this video so you know my story and you know my military journey. My name is Rey Rodriguez and I am a Master Sergeant retired from the United States Army as of this year. Yes, I was able to retire this year 2025. All right, I'm going to start off with around 2001 when I was in high school. I was a regular student. I was not a 4.0 student. I was not a all A's student. I didn't like to go to school. I didn't like to go to any subjects. I didn't want to go to college afterwards because all I wanted it was to play basketball. Yes, I thought as soon as I'm done with high school, I'm going to be a basketball player. I'm not talking about NBA player. I'm talking about like superior leagues in Puerto Rico. That was my dream. Yeah, I mean, when I graduated high school in May 2001, that was all that I can think of. I wanted to play basketball. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to go to college. I don't want to study. I don't want to go to work. I just want to go play ball, hang out with my friends, go to parties here and there, playing here, playing in some other city, playing all around the island. So guess what, guys? On the same year, September 2001, I had a very, very bad injury on my left knee. And guess what? My basketball dreams got completely crushed. Yes, my dreams got crushed. I was in a very, very low moment in my life when I was a teenager. I was suffering depression. I didn't want to do anything else with my life. I thought I was not going to be able to walk anymore because the injury was very, very serious. I had surgery done around the end of September 2001. It took me around maybe 6-7 months to recover, get out of bed. I was laying down for almost 8 months on bed. I was using crutches for about a year or so. And then after that, I had to do physical therapy, recovery, and some other treatments. And right after that, I didn't know what to do with my life because all I wanted to do was play basketball. So I start hanging out with my friends again and going out to parties. I didn't have a job. And then at one point, my mom told me, hey, you need to do something with your life. You need to find a job. And I was 18 years old, guys, 18, 19 years old. I was so immature back then. And my mom found me a job on a warehouse in one of the military bases in Puerto Rico. But deep down, I was empty. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any type of motivation. I didn't have any type of structure. I didn't have a leadership. I didn't have motive in life to continue forward. I was completely lost. Fast forward, I met my wife. By the way, she's amazing. I met her, and when I was 29 years old, maybe going into 30, we decided to get married. And then our first child was on the way, our first girl. And I decided that I needed a change. I was like, okay, I need to be able to provide to my family, to my firstborn. She's on the way. I was working in a warehouse for, I don't know, maybe 10 years. Graduated when I was 18. When I was 29, maybe 11, 12 years. I was working in a warehouse, and then I decided that I needed a change. And then I told my wife, I'm going to join the military service. And I was like, okay, so let's start looking around. Let's chop around branches, and we go from there. So I decided to go to the Coast Guard first. So as soon as I walked into the Coast Guard recruiting station, the guy looked at me, and he was like, hey, man, how old are you? And I told him, I'm 30, and I'm ready to join. And the guy was like, well, you ain't. You're not going to join the Coast Guard with 30 years old. Negative. So I was like, okay. So I'm going back home. Told my wife, hey, can't join the Coast Guard. I'm 30 years old. I'm too old. And I was like, okay, so we can try to go to the Air Force or the Army and so on. So the next day I decided to go to the Air Force, and the Air Force recruiter asked me the same question, how old I was. I told him 30 years old, and he told me, oh man, I think you're a little too old, but we can submit a waiver, but you need to score on your ASVAB above 50 to be able to get a good job. And I was like, oh my God. So I need to score above 50 on the ASVAB to be able to get a good job. So I decided to go to the Army recruiting station. And I remember I met Sergeant First Class Vasquez. That was my recruiter back then. And he asked me the same question. He said, how old are you? And I told him I'm 30 years old. And he said, oh my God, you're good. You're perfect. You have until you're 32 years old to join. I was like, okay, good. I can join the Army then. And he said, let me put you on a practice test. And he put me in a practice test in a little office that they have in the back. Came back, submitted my practice test, and he told me, hey man, you score a 14. And I was like, okay, 14. Is that good? That's bad? And he was like, well, that's pretty bad. You need to study. You need to practice. And I was like, okay, I graduated 12 years ago from high school. I didn't like to go to school. I didn't like to study. How am I going to score the minimum to be able to join the Army? And he said, I'm going to give you a couple contacts. You can give them a call. Those are ASVAB tutors. Schedule an appointment with them, go to their classes, and then come back in a couple weeks. And I told them, okay. Went back home, talked to my wife, and I told her, hey, I scored a 14. He told me that I need to study, but I don't like to study. And my wife told me, how bad do you want this? And I told her, well, I really want this so bad because I need to provide for my family, for you and my little one that is on the way. And she was like, okay, so let's do some research. Let's see who's the best ASVAB tutor in Puerto Rico back then. And we found this guy, and I started going to his classes Saturdays and Sundays. So I did that for a month, called the recruiter back. He told me, yes, you can come back. Let's book you up to do the ASVAB. And I told him, okay, good. So he scheduled me, went there, went to MEPS, took my ASVAB. Guys, and I scored a 31. 31, the bare minimum. Yes, it is the bare minimum to join the Army. So I passed the ASVAB, went back to the recruiter office. We didn't discuss any type of jobs yet because I had to go through the physical, and then I was 30 years old. I was a little out of shape, and then he sent me off for, hey, take a list 30 days, do some physical workouts, and then come back so we can schedule you to your physical examination. So came back, did my physical examination, everything went well, chipped the basic training, and then when I got to basic training, that's when I had a very, very shocking moment when I found myself there without my friends, without my family, without my wife, and I was around teenagers, 16, 17, 18 years old teenagers coming straight from high school, and I was 30 years old, guys. They start calling me grandpa after a week. Even the drill instructors call me grandpa. Hey, grandpa, come here. What are you doing? Get down, grandpa. And it was very, very frustrating because I was coming from a level of depression when I have my knee surgery, and I didn't have any purpose in life. I didn't have any structure. I didn't have any motivation. I didn't have anything back then. And I thought joining the Army was the solution for my issues. And then when I got there, it was a very, very shocking moment for me. So I was able to graduate basic training, came back home, and I kid you not, guys, as soon as I finished my basic training at AIT, I was a complete different man. Okay? The Army gave me purpose, it gave me direction, it gave me motivation, and it gave me the leadership that I needed to be able to lead my family. So when I went back home, picked my family up, and then we went to our first duty station, which was in Georgia, Fort Stewart, Georgia. And like I told you guys earlier, I didn't like to go to school. I didn't like to study. I didn't like to open up books. Then my wife pushed me to start a degree. She pushed me to go back to college, to go in college. So I was able to enroll back in 2014, finish my degree, my bachelor's degree in human resources management. And guess what, guys? The Army paid for it completely, 100%. I didn't have to pay a dime for that. So that's one thing I want to let you know, that if you are in this situation or a similar situation that you don't know what to do, I want to share this story with you guys so you know you're not alone in this process. I was there as well. When I joined in 2013, I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have any motivation, any structure that can lead me through my military career. Long story short, I was able to retire this year as a Master Sergeant in the United States Army. That's an E8. Okay, so I joined the Army in 2013. I retired this year, 2025, as an E8 Master Sergeant. I'm sorry, I joined as an E2 Private 2, and then I retired as a Master Sergeant E8. I want you to ask around your friends, your family, if you have any Army friends, how long it'll take you from E2 to E8. A lot of people will tell you that they've seen E6s retire with 20 years. I was able to retire as an E8 with only 12 years in. How I did that? Because as soon as I came back from basic training, I started reading, looking into information and how to become better and progress within the Army itself. I was able to look a lot of information, how to navigate my career, navigate promotion system, and to be able to get what I was. So that's what I'm here right now for you guys. If you feel that you're alone, you're not. I was there as well. But I can tell you that any type of military service, it doesn't matter if you go to the Navy, Air Force, Marines, it doesn't even matter. It is the best decision of my life. And if I have to do it again, I will do it all over again. I will join again and again. It gave me everything that I needed, and I'm so grateful with God that put me in the position that I was able to join the Army and put me in another position to be able to retire and share my knowledge and my journey with you guys. What I'm offering to you guys is, I'm going to leave a link on the description so you can go to my webpage. It's called Military Career Consulting. I created that because I want to provide to you guys the guidance that I did not receive back then when I first joined. Nobody was able to tell me how it was supposed to be, how, what job I should select, what career path I should go, if I should join the Marines or I should join the Army. I just went straight at it. And now that's what I'm offering to you guys. I'm offering one-on-one consultations. If you need any answers, send me your question, and then I will be more than happy to answer them all. Like I said, I'm going to leave the link on the description, and let me know in the comment sections if you have any questions for me. The reason I'm here to share this knowledge with you guys is because I was a recruiter from 2019 and 2022, and I put a lot of young kids in the Army, and I didn't sell them a product. I just sell them my story. And a lot of those kids felt identified with my story because they were in the same shoes. They were in the same position I was, and that's the satisfaction that I have when I was a recruiter, because some of those guys still contact me and ask me questions about their career, and I decided to create this program, Military Career Consulting. Make sure you go to that link. You can read all the information that you need. Go to the contact section and send me your question, and I will be answering them all. Also, I will be providing you guys practice ASVAB, aptitude test, personality test. I'm going to lay it out for you which career path is best for you, based on your scores, based on your results. I don't want you guys to go blind on a recruiting station for the Marines, for the Navy, for the Air Force, for the Army. I want you guys to have a clear understanding what's the best career path for you. I don't want you to join the first branch that you see out there or on TV and then you regret it later, because I've seen it all the time. People joining the Air Force saying I should have joined the Army. People joining the Navy, I should have joined the Air Force. Why? Because they didn't have the guidance and the motivation and the leadership and the purpose and the structure that I'm giving to you. Okay, so that's my story. I want to let you know that you're not alone. You're not alone in this process. I was there too, but you can do it. All you need is a little bit of help and guidance to navigate your military career and be successful or better as I was. Hope you guys like this content. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe and send it to your friends, send it to your family, and I'll see you guys on the next time.